Brutish attitude, she might be a little bit fun. Might even yield to him and enjoy things like handcuffs and other sex games. Then, like a chameleon, she transformed before his eyes, shuddering her emotions and resuming control over herself. He admired control, ruthlessly strove for it in his own life, although not always with success, as his impulsive attempt to dance with her just proved. She smoothed the stray hairs from her face and shooed him out of the pantry. "I assume you didn't come to the kitchen to dance. What do you need?" So businesslike, but now he knew better. Then again, it didn't matter. He couldn't indulge his curiosity. Shit, he had to meet with Mary. He had to train.
"Just this."
He held up the water bottle.
"I heard singing, though, so I came to investigate."
And because he wanted to provoke her, he added,
"Interesting song choice."
Oh, too easy. A streak of red rushed to her cheeks. He wondered how easily he might be able to make other parts of her body turn pink, too. Stop it. Apparently, it took no encouragement to provoke him into flirting with Emma. Something about her weakened his control. "Well, then, now that you've uncovered the big mystery, I assume you have a schedule to keep. As do I." She folded her arms in front of her body and offered him an ever so polite, yet placating smile.
"That I do."
He nodded, knowing he should feel grateful that she didn't encourage his interest. Of course, gratitude did not wash over him. He left the kitchen, going directly to the hexagonally shaped parlor near the front of the inn, where Mary and the crew were already seated and looking over the shooting schedule.
"Oh, good, you're here."
Mary handed him a schedule, a gray and white grid with daily sunrise and sunset times, location designations, and other information.
"It's really important that we adhere to the schedule in order to avoid cost overruns or missing certain shots and so on."
Mary smiled, a tight grin. In truth, she made him a little nervous. He could sense her ambition from 100 yards away, which made him very aware that he was just a means to an end.
"I understand the importance of a schedule,"
Wyatt replied. He pointed at the words "establishing shots" on the calendar.
"What's this mean? I thought we did that back in Vermont with my mom."
"Those are needed every time we change the setting." Mary waved around the inn. "I need Jim to get outside shots of this inn, the signage, maybe a few shots around town, and the view of the mountain. We should get some inside shots, too, to show where you're living, eating, exercising. You know, to orient people and give them a peek into where you are."
"So am I off the hook for a while?"
Wyatt wanted to check on Ryder and maybe take a walk around the town to get himself oriented, too.
"Not exactly. We need your gorgeous face in the shots or it will be too boring for viewers. They'll want to see and hear your reaction to the surroundings,"
Mary began, one brow cocked.
"Such as they are."
Just then Emma strode through the lobby with a clipboard and a baggy purse. Apparently baggy summed up her sense of style. Naturally, she didn't meet his gaze, choosing instead to look at Mary. "Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but I'm headed out to grab a few things. If you need anything while I'm out, Andy is around and can help you." She smiled when she said Andy's name, just as she'd smiled at the guy earlier when he'd arrived. Wyatt wondered if they were more than boss and employee. Then he wondered why he cared.
"We're good,"
he answered before checking with the others. She nodded and continued outside. He watched her through the parlor window as she skipped down the porch steps and jogged toward her car, efficient, focused, and completely disinterested in him. Mary snapped her fingers, drawing his attention, and speared him with an impatient stare.
"Let's focus so we can get something more than unpacking accomplished today."
Snippy much? He'd better not get on her bad side. Unlike with past PR, he couldn't afford for this video to show him in anything less than a good light. Some guys might have loved the reputation he'd previously, if somewhat undeservedly, earned, but at heart, Wyatt didn't think of himself as a superficial adrenaline junkie. He wanted admiration for his skill and dedication, not for his looks or the women in his life.